We back in the flesh, baby!
The 101st NFL season is unlike any other.
Hey guys, this is weird.
Enormous stadiums devoid of fans, and yet you'll hear them loud and clear.
Listen to the crowd that's not actually here.
But who controls the volume? How loud can it get? Who will who day and who dat? This is NFL Explained, Crowd Noise in 2020. Piping in crowd noise to a stadium has always been against NFL regulations until now.
You can hear the blimp. That's how quiet it is. Hear that?
NFL stadiums are starting the season with few or no fans, but playing football in a quiet stadium poses several problems.
No! You're a man! You're a man! Yeah, we punched that in the face. Hey, what he said?
Distraction can be the presence of something you don't expect, but it can also be the absence of something you expect.
So this year, the league has implemented a plan to introduce pre-recorded crowd noise both in stadium and in the broadcast.
We thought about video games. You know, EA does an incredible product where they use as much authentic sound as they can, and we talked to them, and then we realized that NFL Films really has the definitive library, audio that they've been collecting for 4 years across all of our venues, so that if you're listening to a game in Philadelphia, the audio you're hearing is from Philadelphia Eagles fans.
We're working with 4-track surround recordings that were made at each NFL stadium. So we're harvesting sounds from there to make a unique sound template for each team.
Music and other audio prompts for situations like playing Styx Renegade at Heinz Field to pump up the Steelers' defense are still allowed, but without the fans to back them, it could amp up the opposing team just as much. Teams will also have a stadium-specific library of chants and cheers for the teams playing in each game. The curated audio must be played in stadiums without fans and is optional in the ones with fans.
I think there's a lot of evolution and discussion on using that sound palette in stadiums where there are no fans, and how does that evolve when there are fans in the stadium.
I'll tell you one thing I noticed right off the bat, you got 17,000 people who sound like about 50,000.
I think those are the kinds of things we're learning over a couple of weeks when a handful of stadiums have had fans in them.
The sound starts playing inside the stadium before kickoff and must remain on as long as the play clock and/or game clock is running. The crowd noise is played between 70 and 80 decibels, about half the record-breaking volume of a packed Arrowhead Stadium.
I want to see an official on the field with a decibel meter, just making sure that everybody keeps it right there.
That's a real
70.
thing that's happening.
And what happens if anyone is caught trying to manipulate the stadium audio? The team would be subject to fines, suspensions, or potential lost draft picks. So don't touch that dial. As for the broadcast of a game, it gets its own dynamic and reactive added crowd noise that won't be heard in the stadium.
I got to be honest, calling the game that we did last week, Buffalo Jets, it was a strange experience to look out at 70,000 empty seats and not hear anything. But then when I watched our game back the next morning, it actually looks like a normal game on TV. It sounds like a normal game on TV.
We have 5 levels of ambience that are the basis of the system.
The levels are base level ambience, active, excited, raucous, and peak. The sound you might hear on a touchdown or a turnover.
Let Brock do a couple transitions there.
The curated tracks include specific reactions such as applause, cheers, and boos.
So there are 3 levels of positive and 3 levels of negative reactions there in red. Brock, if you want to fire a couple of those off. So there's a medium positive reaction.
So who is actually in charge of hitting the right button at the right moment? The crowd sound system operators are chosen by the league and are local to the city the team is in. Each operator is familiar with the team, the venue, and the specific sounds of that stadium.
You know, we learned and we've coached our operators that be optimistic. Home team fans are optimistic on every play. So you see the ball in the air and you're anticipating, oh, this could be a great catch, and you want to react to it in that way.
The NFL will reevaluate the use of the added noise during the season, and some questions remain unanswered. Will the noise levels change during the season? After scoring, do the Pats play "This Is Our House" to an empty house? If a Gallahorn blows and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? There's only one way to find out.